Okay, for today's, I'm going to throw something at Peter. I'd be really intrigued to know what Peter says about this particular ending that I'm putting to the wilderness experience of Jesus. But often the 3 points we've just made the last 3 days are ones that come up in Lent. Often, if you do go to churches, they'll be preaching on this at some point, almost certainly, and you'll hear similar things. But in this bit, I think it's often left out that at the end of this testing period, when the devil leaves, it actually says Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Holy Spirit. And it's a really powerful moment. The power of the Spirit is on because Jesus has been in the desert. Remember that before the desert experience, he got baptized, so the Holy Spirit came on him then. But then, of course, he had all this testing. But it says at the end of it, he was so full of the Spirit of God because of what had happened to him and because of the way, the responses occurred. It says Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and news about him spread. He went all over the place, and everybody praised him. And at the end of it, there's a passage that is a very famous one, based on an Old Testament quote in the book of Isaiah. Chapter 61, which is very precious to me because it was the theme verse. The 3 verses were the theme verses of the church we ran for 17 years. And so Isaiah 61 is a slightly longer version of what's in Luke chapter 4. And it's the part where it says, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he's anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and release a recovery of sight for the blind and release the oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favour." So it's a powerful time when Jesus is saying, "This is what I'm here for. I've been baptized. I've had all this testing, and now I know that this is what I'm here for. I'm telling you what I'm here for." And I think the message in this is these 40 days of Lent, used well, will have an effect that is positive on us as we go forward into life after Lent. And so I don't think people should leave this bit out in the context of the passage of the wilderness. So, any thoughts on that?
I think it's interesting that Jesus has the Holy Spirit on him, as if his Holy Spirit was a measure, it's gone up.
Well, I don't know if we're actually told exactly that, but yeah, I know what you mean.
So I just think even a perfect person has to sort of cultivate, like, manifest having the Holy Spirit in them.
Yeah.
And it's like it takes work. It isn't something that's just inherent in you.
Well, it's not work in the sense of you can make it happen in your own strength.
No.
You just got to say to God, who is capable of giving you the power of the Spirit to release more in you, is to say, "I need more, please, Lord. I'm open. Please give me what you need to give me for a given day." In the same way that Jesus went about his ministry, and we hear all sorts of powerful stories of where he did miracles or where he came up with words that were really profound. But we also get told that in certain places the Spirit wasn't at work. It's like when he went to his own town, his own village or whatever, and they were not near to God as people, and the Spirit wasn't at work there. And so even he, walking in his humanness, I mean, obviously he was both God and man, but in his humanness, these things were happening where there was a sense in which the Spirit was more manifest at one time than another. And that, in a way, is a witness to how it will be for us. But we just have to say, "Lord, I need some of you. I've been in this wilderness for 40 days in Lent, and I've been trying to grapple with what it means to know you. Please fill me as we go out from Lent into Easter and on towards Pentecost." And then it's up to God how much he gives you. Is that in any way helpful, or am I completely throwing you off there?
I'm not thinking the next thing to say. I'm just thinking more profoundly of what it all means. But I think that would take a 2-hour.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do a 2-hour one sometime. Okay, we'll come back to all this next time.
Thank you.